Welcome to Manifest Beyond Limits, the podcast that helps you break free from fear and self-doubt so you can create a life filled with abundance, joy, and fulfillment. I'm your host, Anaja, manifestation coach, speaker, and believer in limitless possibility. Each week, we'll dive into the mindset shifts, energetic principles, and manifestation tools that help you step into your power and design a reality that truly lights you up. Because here, we believe there are no limits, and anything is possible. You ready? Let's manifest beyond limits. Welcome back to the Manifest Beyond Limits podcast. So we are back with part 2 of phrases that are no longer in my wealth vocabulary. So last week, we covered the first 5 phrases. So if you haven't already, go back and listen to that episode. So phrase number 6 is, rich people are greedy. And this one is a big one, because how can you expect to have more money in your life if you believe that rich people are greedy? If deep down you associate wealth with greed, then on a subconscious level, you're going to resist becoming wealthy, because nobody wants to see themselves as a greedy person. But here's the truth. Greed is not determined by money itself. It's determined by the individual. Money doesn't change a person. It just amplifies who they already are. So if someone is greedy before having money, they'll still be greedy when they have money. And if someone is selfless, generous, and caring before money, they'll be that way with money too. So money simply allows you to be more of who you already are. So when you say rich people are greedy, what you're really doing is rejecting wealth at an identity level. Phrase number 7 is, money is the root of all evil. And this one goes hand in hand with rich people are greedy, because you're not going to attract money into your life if you believe that money itself is evil. So here's the truth. Money is not good or bad. It's just a tool. So think about it like this. A knife is also a tool. A knife can be used to harm, but it can also be used to perform surgery and save a life. So the issue is not the knife, it's how the knife is used. And the same thing applies to money. So money simply magnifies the intention of the person using it. It amplifies impact. It reveals character. So when you label money as evil, you are unconsciously rejecting a tool that could actually be used for massive good in your life and in the world. Phrase number 8 is, money doesn't grow in trees. So I know this one is usually said just as an expression, but it's the energetic meaning behind it that makes money feel limited and scarce. So it tells me that there's a belief that money is hard to come by, that it's difficult to access, that it's easily used up. And that belief creates this cycle where money always feels like it's a shrinking resource, when in reality, money as a whole is unlimited. Only about 4% of money exists in physical paper form. The rest is digital. And so what that means is that most of the money in the world does not even physically exist. Yet people are walking around afraid of it running out. Money is not running out. What's running out is people's belief in their ability to receive it. Phrase number 9 is, you have to work hard and sacrifice to make money. And this one is huge in our society, especially in the United States, where hustle culture is so normalized. But what people don't realize is that there is an easier way to make more money without burning yourself out. Money is not meant to feel like this exhausting thing that requires constant sacrifice. If money was determined by how hard someone worked, then there wouldn't be people who are rich barely working and people working 2 or 3 jobs still struggling to make ends meet. So this shows that there is a massive misunderstanding of how money actually works. Money is energy, and it moves through both masculine and feminine energetics. And when you actually understand how money works, you realize that we've been taught to do it backwards. And so if you want to go deeper into that and learn more about what masculine and feminine energetics actually means, then join my movement because these are the things that we actually talk about. Phrase number 10 is, I'm not good with money. And this phrase is dangerous because it turns money into an identity problem instead of a skill problem. So when you say, I'm not good with money, you're not just talking about a learning curve. You're just saying that this is just who you are. But money is a skill, and skills can be learned. So instead of I'm not good with money, shift to I'm learning how to manage money better. I'm improving my money skills. That one shift would change your entire future with money. And I actually have 3 bonus phrases that I want to add in and cover. So bonus phrase number 1 is, I don't want to look at my bank account. And this one is huge because what you avoid, resist, or fear actually grows. And there's this principle that says what you resist persists. So when you say, I don't want to look at my bank account, what you're really doing is avoiding your reality instead of facing it with awareness. And avoidance doesn't make your money problems disappear. It just keeps them running in the background of your nervous system. Because even when you're not consciously looking at your bank account, your body still feels the tension. It still feels the uncertainty and the fear. And that creates this constant stress response around money. And so what I want you to understand is that looking at your bank account does not mean anything about you. It doesn't mean you're good or bad. It doesn't mean you're successful or failing. It doesn't mean you're behind or broken. It's just information. That's it. Money on a screen is just data. It's not your worth. It's not your identity. And it's not your future. And here's the other thing. Your financial circumstances can change at any moment. A client can come in. You can have a big opportunity appear. A blessing can come out of nowhere. Your situation is never as permanent as your fear tries to tell you that it is. So instead of avoiding your account, start practicing observing it from a neutral standpoint. Not panic, not shame, not spiraling, just neutral. And so before you look at your account, you need to regulate your nervous system. Take a few slow breaths, relax your shoulders and your jaw. Remind yourself that what you are about to see does not define your future. And then you look at it and you don't react, you just observe. Because when your nervous system feels safe with money, money starts feeling safer with you. And that neutrality is what allows things to start shifting. So bonus phrase number 2 is, it costs an arm and a leg. And this phrase can sound harmless and even funny, but energetically, it is a very self-sabotaging thing that you can say about money. So when you say it costs an arm and a leg, you're telling your subconscious brain that money is painful to spend, that it requires sacrifice, and that you have to lose something in order to receive something. And your brain takes that literally. So then you start associating money with things like loss and pain, depletion and regret, instead of value, exchange, investment, expansion. So then every time the money flows out of your account, your nervous system tightens. You start to brace and contract in your body. You go into protection and survival mode. And then your nervous system, it starts associating that money with pain, and then it unconsciously blocks more money from coming in because it thinks it's keeping you safe. That if you don't have more money, then there's nothing for you to lose. But money is not meant to feel like loss. Money is just an exchange of energy. You give money and you receive something in value in return. Nothing was taken from you. Nothing was lost. The energy was just simply moved in exchange. So instead of saying it costs an arm and a leg, shift to that was a high value investment. I chose to spend that. that was aligned for me. Money circulates easily in my life. So these type of phrases keep you in power and choice instead of sacrifice and loss. Because money responds to how safe it feels in your body. And your language is one of the fastest ways to tell your nervous system that I am safe with money and money is safe with me. So bonus phrase number 3 is filthy rich. And this one is kind of subtle and not commonly thought about, but it's powerful. Because why is wealth described as dirty? Why is richness associated with being filthy? And this phrase attached to it is feelings of disgust and shame and dirtiness attached to abundance. So subconsciously, your nervous system hears, if I become rich, that means I become dirty. Or if I have a lot of money, that means that I'm wrong. But money is neutral. It only amplifies who you already are. So instead of saying filthy rich, think of words like wealthy, abundant, prosperous. Because being rich isn't dirty. It means having resources, being supported. It's power. So I hope that these 2 episodes open your eyes to just how powerful your words truly are, especially when it comes to money. So your language is never just about words. It's always creating, reinforcing, and expanding the things in your life. And your words are like spells. They program your mind and your energy and your future experiences. So the longer that you speak about your financial reality from limitation, fear, or avoidance, the longer that same reality continues on this loop. But the moment that you become aware, that you choose a new language, that you start speaking from possibility instead of lack, everything begins to shift. Because remember, your circumstances are not permanent. Your bank account is not your identity. And what you see right now does not define what's possible for you tomorrow. You are always one decision, one belief, one energetic shift away from a completely different reality. And if these conversations around money, identity, nervous system regulation, and abundance are resonating with you, then this is exactly the kind of work that we go deeper into inside my monthly membership, the Manifest Beyond Limits movement. So the link is in the show notes if you feel called to join us. And that's all that I have for today. So I'll talk to you in the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode of Manifest Beyond Limits. I hope you're leaving feeling inspired, empowered, and ready to take aligned action toward your next level. If this episode spoke to your heart, it would mean the world if you shared it with someone who needs to hear it, or left a quick review to help more beautiful souls find this space. And if you'd like to stay connected, you can find me on Instagram at Manifest Beyond Limits, or visit manifestbeyondlimits.com to dive deeper into my world. And remember, you are powerful, you are supported, and there are no limits to what you can create. With that being said, go out there and manifest a life that's truly beyond limits.